Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I'm your host, Eric Smith. Today I'm doing something a little different. Instead of reviewing books or something that's been out for a while, I'm talking about Jurassic World, which just came out in theaters this weekend. Today is Sunday. I saw it this afternoon and I just figured I'd share my thoughts. I really don't need to go over the plot, do I? Jurassic World is a dinosaur theme park with living dinosaurs. The dinosaurs get loose and chaos ensues. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what this movie is. I quite enjoyed the movie. I saw it in 3D. I don't think there was anything extra spectacular about the 3D, but I do love the way 3D looks, just the depth that you have with it. And this movie did look really nice with the 3D effect. So, the movie itself, it's a summer blockbuster popcorn movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I love the dinosaurs. I'm a huge fan of creature features, and this is basically a big budget creature feature. I don't know who's going to see this movie if you're not going to see just dinosaurs running around being all dinosaur-y. And that's what you're going to get. The cast is serviceable. I mean, they're fine. You've got Chris Pratt being the serious Chris Pratt. He's not Andy from Parks and Recreation. He's even more serious than he is as Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's charming, but certainly not as funny as he is in the other roles that I've seen him in. I haven't seen him in Zero Dark 30, some of the other stuff that he's done. This is definitely the most serious version of Chris Pratt. But he does make a great action star. He's a good-looking guy. He is very charming, and he's great at the action scenes. So no problem at all with Chris Pratt. Bryce Dallas Howard is just fine. Again, not incredibly familiar with her work. I haven't seen a lot of stuff that she's in. So I can't compare this to anything else she's done. She's fine. She's probably the only one in this movie that has anything close to a character arc. There's not a lot of character work in this movie. Everybody is... when you're introduced to these characters, here it is, this is who this person is, and they're pretty much the same at the end of the movie. Bryce Dallas Howard's character, Claire, who runs Jurassic World, like I said, is probably the only one I can think of that really goes through any type of change, and it's a tiny one at that. But her performance is fine. Vincent D'Onofrio, I like him. This is probably the most normal I've ever seen him. I know him. I've seen him in a bunch of different stuff, but mainly, of course, the biggest impression he's made was his role on Law & Order Criminal Intent, which I thought was fantastic, and as Kingpin in the Daredevil Netflix series, where he's just amazing. But they're both crazy characters. In this movie, he's just a dude. And he plays it well. Again, it's really odd for me to see him not being a crazy guy, having just, well, again, not much to his character, not a lot of depth, but his performance is fine. Pretty much everybody does a good job for what it's worth. The dinosaurs, that's the main attraction. I thought they looked cool. There are a few practical dinosaurs. It's mostly CGI, and a lot of people have complained about that. But you know what? It's dinosaurs. They're not real. And you can't make a movie like this where everything's going to be practical. And a movie like this with so much more than what you had in the original Jurassic Park, you have to do it CGI, and it's fine. I have no problem with the CGI. I really liked the different look of the dinosaurs. The raptors were really cool. The pterodactyls and the other flying dinosaurs were awesome. So no problem with that. The only thing visually, and someone else said this to me after we saw the movie, there's a couple of scenes with a helicopter at the beginning of the movie where the helicopter looks like it's a toy. At least it did to me and to another person I was talking to. I don't know if that had anything to do with watching it in 3D. Just a couple of shots, it looked like an RC helicopter to me. But aside from that, like I said, I thought it was a lot of fun. The new dinosaur, Indominus Rex, whatever it's called, I thought was pretty cool. There were some surprises there. Since seeing the movie, I've heard some people complain about it, about that particular dinosaur, but I had no problem with it. I thought it was really cool. Again, I loved the flying dinosaurs. Really awesome. Some really cool shots, and there's one shot of I assume it's a pterodactyl on top of the Jurassic World sign / logo that was really awesome, in my opinion. Kind of an iconic look. I would love to have that on a poster. It was really cool looking. Oh man, alright. My train of thought was derailed like a monorail at Jurassic World when the dinosaurs attack. I've only seen it the one time so far. I didn't notice a lot of plot holes or problems with it. The main thing is I don't think Bryce Dallas Howard would be able to run through the jungle in the high-heeled shoes that she had. And I'm not saying she couldn't run in the high-heeled shoes. I'm just saying in the jungle, those heels would have been sinking into the ground. Two kids wearing tennis shoes were leaving footprints. I don't see these heels that were, if not stilettos, pretty close to... Well, yeah, they weren't stilettos, but they were pretty close. They would be sinking into the ground. There's no way she'd be running. But if that's the only plot hole, then we're talking about a pretty well put together story. Again, summer blockbuster. This isn't the greatest story ever told. It's a fun movie. It's dinosaurs eating people, which is what I like. One of the things I heard a lot about before the movie came out was the whole training of raptors things. And I meant to write about this in my blog, but I didn't get around to it, and since the movie's already come out, it's kind of pointless for me to write about it now, but I do want to talk about it. I heard a lot of people just saying that, it seemed impossible that raptors could be trained. They're too smart. They're too vicious. So it was just ridiculous that this Chris Pratt's character, Owen, could train raptors. And what I had planned to say in my blog was, one, you shouldn't judge a movie by its trailer, and you shouldn't make assumptions based on a trailer. And two, without having seen the movie, if you're going to take a piece of the trailer, you should think it through before you complain about it. And my first thought was, people train deadly animals all the time. And if Chris Pratt, or the character, had been training these raptors from birth, I don't see why that seems so impossible. It's not like in the trailer they show him having the raptors jumping through hoops and doing tricks. He's got them to stay in the trailer. That's basically what you're seeing, is him saying stay. And then, having seen the movie, the character is talking about training the raptors, and it's almost a throwaway line, but he does say they imprinted on him at birth. So I don't see why that's a problem. If he was there when they were born, he says, again in the trailer, he says he's the alpha. He's been training them since birth. I don't see why it would be any different than training lions or tigers, killer whales, whatever. And yes, sometimes these animals turn. And again, from the trailer, you don't know what's going to happen. Stop complaining about it. I buy it. And as I said, the movie has that line. They imprinted on him at birth. So he's been there with those raptors from their hatching. And he's been training them. I don't see the problem. So, as a matter of fact, the closest you get to a dinosaur doing a trick is the big giant water dinosaur, I don't know its name, that jumps out and eats the shark. And that's not so much a trick as it's hungry, and that's where the food is up in the air, and it jumps up and gets it. So, fine, he trained some raptors, it's cool. And some things happen with the raptors that I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to give this away. But, come on, people, it's dinosaurs on a rampage. Just enjoy yourself. It's not a perfect movie, but it's a fun, enjoyable movie. And the other thing I wanted to say, a lot of people talking about how perfect. Twice today, I heard somebody say that the original Jurassic Park is a perfect movie, and that is ridiculous. I think a lot of people look at movies like Jurassic Park through nostalgia-covered glasses, especially people that saw it when they were kids. I was an adult when I saw it, and I enjoyed the movie. It was great to see I mean, that was the first time we really saw dinosaurs like this. As far as being on the big screen, the quality of the effects, both the practical and the CGI, it's the first time it was amazing. But there are a lot of problems with that movie. Plot-wise, continuity-wise, it has some serious issues. It's not a perfect movie. It's certainly a hell of a lot better than Jurassic Park: The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, which are both horrible movies. But Jurassic Park is not a perfect movie. It's a good movie. I'm not even going to say it's great. Not that I'm saying this one, Jurassic World, is great, but it is a lot of fun. And if it's not at least at the same level with the original, I'm going to say it's just a little bit below it. Again, I've only seen it the once, so maybe on subsequent viewings I'll notice some things that are problematic. But I would say the original has more plot holes than this one does, personally. Again, maybe on subsequent viewings I'll change my mind as far as that goes. But right now, I think it holds together well. So, I think that covers basically everything. You've got decent performances, not much character growth, a lot of fun with the dinosaurs, really cool dinosaurs, decent effects. You don't have the Keystone Cops raptors that you had in the second one. The raptors are pretty vicious in here and pretty cool. I love the pterodactyls and the other flying dinosaurs. Just fantastic. I will say, this isn't really a spoiler, they do kind of leave you hanging as far as you have that. It's been in the trailers. You see the flying dinosaurs get out and attacking people, and then it's just sort of, after that big set piece, it's kind of like they don't bother going back to those guys. So I assume they got out into the world. I don't know. But really, really cool. I like the end. The big finale I enjoyed very much. So I didn't bother drawing up any sort of rating. I would give this 3.5 to 3 3/4 out of 5. Definitely higher than 3.5. Easy. Just not sure. I wouldn't go as high as 4 because it is a summer blockbuster. It does its job. but it does lack a few things as far as any character growth. I understand a popcorn movie, but you can still develop the characters a bit. We really don't get much at all as far as any background on the characters, and again, no real character arcs. So 3.5 to 3 3/4 out of 5 would be my rating for this movie. I say go and see it. Go and have some fun. See it in 3D if you can afford to spend a few extra dollars, because it looks really nice. I love that depth, like I said. So there you have it. That's me rambling on about Jurassic World. I'm pretty sure I'll pick this up when it comes out on Blu-ray. I enjoyed it, and again, I mean, Chris Pratt, I'm a fan. I thought he was great as Star-Lord, and I loved him as Andy on Parks and Recreation. So just seeing him in this is really nice. Bryce Dallas Howard was good. Now I'm just repeating myself, I guess. So that's it. Go and see Jurassic World if you want to have a good time at the theater. People actually cheered at the end of the movie. I don't know. I didn't. I wouldn't go that far. Not sure I've ever cheered in a movie, but it was a lot of fun. So check it out. I'm Eric Smith. This is the Low Budget Review Show, and I'm still going to use my usual closing. Until next time, read more books.